Hello, all y'all. I'm Justin from Bon Iver, and this is Jimmy Stack, the co-producer with me for the SABLE and fABLE record. And we're at iconic Maida Vale Studios, and we're in the Maida Vale neighborhood, I think, right? We're gonna be breaking down a few of our tracks from SABLE and fABLE. Yeah, just kind of bring you along into our process and let you get to know how we put some of this stuff together. This is Six Music, Artist in Residence, AAA with Bon Iver.
I know now that I can't make good how I wish I could.
I think we're going to start with Speyside.
Cool.
Go back and put me where you stood. Nothing's really something now, the whole thing's
I think I made the iPhone demo of it in Key West. Like it would have been the winter of 21, like January or February 21. I went to Key West because I was by myself out at Maple Place. And I was living out there during COVID by myself, and I was like, I need to get out of here pretty bad. I was in the woods with my cats, kind of losing it. And so I went to Key West and had like a reckoning. I got some news, we'll call it. And it was something that made me really reflective and not feel too great about where I had been and the kind of man that I had not been, you know, feeling like a sense of guilt and reckoning, and like I hadn't been the best, you know, person and that I could be. And it kind of like hit me like a ton of bricks. And a lot of the lyrics kind of came out in that first moment, the first, you know, half an hour of kind of making the riff. You know, I know now that I can't make good is sort of like the whole song.
I know now that I can't make good how I wish I could.
So the demo that I had, maybe we could send it to you guys to just preview.
I know now that I can't make good how I wish I could. Go back and put me where you stood. It really don't matter now, the whole thing's cooked.
But it's pretty complete. I remember I sent it around to a couple of friends, just because I, you know, wasn't sharing anything with anybody. We weren't playing, and so almost all the lyrics kind of came in that first like hour writing the song in 2021. But then, you know, we didn't finish the recording and like fully realizing the vision, you know, till later. But yeah, they all came pretty quick. You know, I had a lot of feelings on deck. I think a lot of people felt that COVID, you know, sort of reckoning, reflecting on things and wondering what's up with ourselves and if we can do better, or what really is the meaning of life, and can we change and stuff. And that's what the song's really about, is trying to make good that we know we can't. We just have to kind of keep going and try to be better.
Really know now what's an older me.
I played it for you, you know, shortly after that.
Yeah.
I got COVID a lot of the times. I think the most times you can get it. But yeah, one of the times I was sick, I showed it to you. But then we were chasing it, the sound. I wanted like, there was something about the iPhone demo. It was like raining in Key West that day. You know, like the iPhone just has that great compression on it. Of course. You know, it's just like.
I don't know why I walk on free. What is wrong with me?
It's nothing like it.
Yeah, and I was just like, so we were chasing it in the studio, and it just like wasn't. We tried it a couple times.
Just forgive me, please. Really, I just had no bravery.
And different guitars, and then I started talking to Cobra and Daryl, the guitar techs that were on Bon Iver tour, about some ideas, and we were busy touring, so we didn't get around to it. And I was talking to another friend that does guitars in Minneapolis, Wyatt Overman. And I was like, I just want to be inside the guitar, and I want the left, the left part of the guitar to be in the left ear. When you put the headphones on, the right ear has the upper part of the guitar, so that when you're doing this alternating, it has this like thing. So I think I went to Willie's Guitars in St. Paul, and I was like, I'm gonna go find the guitar. And I got a very nice 60s Martin, because I was like, this song's important.
Yeah.
We gotta get the guitar for it. And I went there and I got it. And I was talking to Wyatt, and I was like, acoustically, this is the guitar, but we have to get in here to make this left-right thing happen. And so it's not that complicated of an idea, but kind of not that common either to have two outputs coming out of the guitar,
Yeah.
So it's left and right. And he had sent me, so I was like, well, we're gonna do it to this guitar. Why don't you there's a reason we have this hideous guitar with us. This is the story. Why don't you just take a beater, that you have in your shop, and demo at this idea and send me a recording. And he sent it of his assistant or technician. She was playing it, and I was like, well, that's it. That's so cool. But of course I'm like, well, now we got to do it to the real guitar. The real guitar I bought from Willie's. But I was like, bring that one down just in case, so we can A/B it. So he takes this rather expensive Martin from the 60s and drilling holes in it and putting all this hardware in it to do the pickups. And we test it, and I'm like, cool, awesome, that's cool. Just playing it, And I was just like, why? No, it's just not quite making me excited. It's not doing the thing. I was like, why? Did you bring that the beater? And he's like, yeah. So we plugged this in. It's very quiet and kind of noisy, but it just has the sound.
Yeah, it just always sounded like it.
So it has that separation. If you're listening at home, if you have headphones, you can kind of hear it going, So I was like, okay, what's the story with this guitar? Because it is god ugly, And so Wyatt actually does this work where he sets up guitars for folks in recovery in this big recovery center in Minneapolis called Hazelton's. And this was such a crappy guitar that they wouldn't take it.
Right. Yeah.
They wouldn't even take it for inpatient recovery people. So we got it, and then it ended up being the guitar. So that's sort of the story.
Yeah.
With how we got the recording. But yeah, we had to bring it with us because there's just, it's the only guitar that sounded like this for some reason. And we put the same hardware, even nicer hardware, and other nicer guitars. And shout out Wyatt Overman for really making that happen. So we had to bring this today to show you guys.
No, and it really is this guitar is the song. I mean, I can't imagine you ever playing the song without this guitar.
Yeah.
I think we tossed it around a few ways, but I think we always knew we wanted it to be just one take, basically no punches, no jumping in and, oh, let's re-record this part or anything, but always just once. And I remember all the times we were out at April Base just having, whenever you'd be hanging after lunch, before lunch, it would just be, if you were feeling it, just say Space Side, and we would immediately jump into it and do a version of it. And it wasn't okay, let's sit down, let's get it 3 or 4 times. It was just a one and done, and we'll see which one's the one. Kind of, I feel like we did it almost every day.
I mean, we probably did 30 takes of it all, but it was just, we were waiting for that one that just felt right. And I wasn't singing it during it because there was so much of the guitar we really wanted to get, and so we just wanted the take to just feel natural, it was something I could sing over. But yeah, it was, but then we did a couple takes once where it was oh, we did it 3-4 times in a row, but then after a while, when you're not singing a song and all it's doing is over and over and over again, I started losing my place and stuff. But
totally.
But anyway, we ended up getting it, and was just finally thrilled with the sound.
Yeah.
And it really just was evoking that living inside the guitar thing.
Totally. And then from there, I feel like we needed just to fully get in the guitar, we just needed the different layers of it, really. So we had the stereo room, which is just the live room at April Bass.
Or was it reamped through the big speakers and we mic'd that?
I think we ultimately did. So
That's
here,
what that is,
maybe
yeah.
let's go through these. So I mean, the first, the essence of the guitar itself is really the piezos, the pickups
These things,
inside.
yeah.
So we got the left, right.
I remember we really EQ'd it a lot too, and really got a lot of like the thump out of the left.
Totally.
It's like the thumb. We kept calling it the. Oh wait, it's not the right key. Wait, play it again. Oh, it's even lower. What? I swear I know how to play guitar. Why can't I stop it? That's it. It was up there.
There it is.
I think it sounded lower to our ears when I was playing it because there is so much thump and low end in the.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, then in just getting the essence of the guitars, like, that's just the left side.
So it's only like half the part, basically.
Yeah. And just kind of, and then here's the right, the other half.
Yeah, so you can hear the higher strings are like isolated, yeah.
Yeah, and then we just, on a pretty intimate level, just got in there and, EQ'd and compressed stuff on just kind of by the string part. And then so in addition to that, we had just our room mics going. Again, just giving you that kind of stereo image, that really like being there feeling. And then that far room mic, just again, really putting you there in the room. So again, back to the guitar itself, and we reamped it into the stereo room where we recorded everything.
And that gave it like, that's something BJ tried originally where we like played the song through the speakers and recorded it, but then like time adjusted it so it's later, so it gives us that. It's the only way to get that feeling from the iPhone recording of like it bouncing around my glass of rum and the roof, the rain roof over my head, like giving it that air.
Totally.
There was a lot of rum involved with that.
Very Key West.
And the Speyside thing is like, I know it's like a Scottish region and malt whiskey, but I was on Key West, which is an island of isolation and guilt. That was just like a reference. It was better than calling the song Key West.
It is.
Had to be like alcohol.
I have to agree with you there. But yeah, I feel like just so much of the kind of basis of the song obviously is just getting the like best guitar sound.
Yeah, play them all together.
So they're mics.
Yeah.
And you really hear how much
mic
everything
really,
does.
yeah.
Oh yeah, this is cranked, yeah.
And then I guess like the next thing really to mention is like, I always wanted this sort of like achy fiddle sort of thing. I almost like thought it might be like Cajun accordion or something that was like giving this like, and then like, when I played the song a couple times in concert, I had Lewis play it on saxophone.
Right.
And he did this like, but I wanted to, I don't know, it was just like, Lewis is on like all of our songs and so important to the sound of Bon Iver. But when we did it, it was like, it was on a past version of the song, and I hadn't had a chance to get him on there again, right?
Yeah.
So we had Rob Moose, who does strings and stuff on everything for all these records and arrangements, but he's not much of like a fiddle guy. He's pretty like traditional.
No, and I remember when we first sent it to him, he did like gorgeous, true
orchestration.
Moose. Yeah, viola, violin, like really beautiful strings.
Yeah.
But there was just a certain, rawness and just again that like breathing feeling that I think you wanted from it, that just, you know, that it could never be like a, oh, let me put together this part thing. And we had Rob really like step outside his comfort zone and kind of basically do it just
I
off
made him
the
sit
dome.
there and do
Yeah.
it and be like, we're gonna do it like this, and we're gonna pretend that you're like a Zydeco Cajun grandfather and down in the swamp, and we're gonna just do it piece by piece. And it was like challenging for him at first, but like what we end up getting is kind of 3 takes of Rob sort of going on top of each other and doing something that he's really not used to doing, but he was really like thankful because it ended up being something really different and really, it's kind of subliminal in the song, but I think it's really, really important.
So here's his first layer.
I think it's viola too, like it's that lower. I think that API compressor is kind of going ape shit. You could just mute those. I don't think we need that.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that's actually, so we did these fiddles. This is with his double. And then with the room. And that room again is just Mike literally in the room there with Rob. Again, just getting that atmosphere. Mm-hmm. And then I remembered to just double down on that breathing feeling. That's when I went in with the muted kick throughout, just to find the kind of the felt backbeat of the whole song. I mean, obviously like way slower than that, but that feeling to it. And I just kind of found like, where is that coming? Where is that, the backbeat, you know, coming from just in every part of the song? And then just manually kind of putting that, again, just a muted little trigger in it and side chaining this.
That's what that is.
Yeah,
that's right.
Compressor to kind of breathe and just kind of like come in just with the backbeat of the song, almost giving it like that.
I thought the compressor was doing something wrong, but I forgot
feel.
you did that. And it really like gave it that thing. Play that again.
Yeah, because then when you hear it all together, it's like you hear that kind of breathing feeling. And it kind of ramps up and goes down.
Yeah. It was basically an invisible kick drum, invisible trigger making it. Wow, yeah. I forgot about that's so good. That's cool.
Yeah, I feel like there's just so many cool little things in this song like that, and like all the different layers that really, I don't know, they add up to this, just again, this really human, you're just there in the room feeling. That though, I mean, I guess the string stuff, that came maybe towards the end. I think we punched and repunched up vocals, but you know, that obviously is like the biggest thing with the guitars. And we can just flip through these.
I know now that I can't make good
And with your double.
how I wish I could.
So beautiful.
I ended up singing it a lot of times.
Go back and put me where you stood.
Yeah, it literally doesn't get any prettier than that. But yeah, I remember you had, you know, we had a kind of like initial working vocal you did over it. And then, yeah, you just kind of like kept going back and kept like beating every line basically.
Yeah. Took a long time.
Yeah.
Also, there's that weird, the reverb send, right, on the vocal?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just like faded it up. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah. And again, just like really moving with the breathing nature of the track, like kind of I feel like everything we did was like true, like bespoke to that like second of the
Well, and
music,
like that's
you
why
know?
we wanted to get the right take
Yeah,
for it to all just have the magic in it, so that when we started doing all these little details, that it wasn't just like we weren't just looped out on a grid. We wanted it to like live and breathe. And
absolutely. I think a big thing about this vocal, this is different than a lot of the song, was that you recorded it a lot of yourself. I remember we just had you set up in the live room and you kind of just had to go in there and be like punching yourself in. And something like that, again, I think just like brought a real intimacy and brought a, you know, just the essence of like you out in it, like even just in how you record yourself.
yeah.
And that was crucial to this vocal, which is, I mean, I just think one of your
Well, I think
best
by that point
vocals.
we've worked so hard on this song that sounds pretty simple.
Yeah,
And like in regards to most of like our songs, I think it weirdly feels really simple or basic. But
Yeah.
we really worked so long, over like a year and a half.
Totally.
Of like really like trying to get it right. I'm really thrilled with the results.
it could not be any better. Just hear everything together. And
Yeah.
maybe from your. That's also like one of my favorite parts.
Oh yeah, that was your favorite part.
The best.
I can't rest on no dynasty. Yeah, what is wrong with me? Man, I'm so sorry. I got the best of me. I really damn been on such a violent spree. But maybe you can still make a man from me, a hero space sidekick.
I feel like it was just like that, and little moments like that really just maxing out the intimacy.
There was every time I get to that spot, I omitted this one lyric I forget about sometimes, but it was like, I sing now, mama, can you hear me sing? And I had to take it out because there's no way I could sing that line and not puddle out.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with puddling out.
Yeah. I think maybe the room mics now are a little loud, but otherwise it sounds sort of like the mix.
Yeah.
A hero space sidekick.
Yeah.
Something kind of weird. I don't know if this is interesting to people, but because I mixed the EP, the SABLE songs.
Yeah.
I mixed them on my own. I just felt like I had to.
Nothing's really something, now the whole thing should. It serves to suffer, make a hole in my foot. And I hope you look as I fill my book. Oh, what a waste of wood. Nothing's really happened like I thought it would.
I feel like that probably sums it up on
Yeah,
this one.
yeah.
If only I could wait. If only I could wait.
Okay, I think we're gonna look at the song "If Only I Could Wait."
So this I remember started when I came out in 2021, dead of winter. Was that 21? No, 22.
No, because it was February 22. You asked if you wanted to make music with Danielle Haim, and I had just become a huge Haim fan, and you and I have been working already on stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Danielle showed up on the 21st. There was a huge snowstorm, and the plan was you guys were gonna get hotels, and we all just got snowed in. for 4 days, and this was a very clear memory. Danielle was in doing like a call or something, and we were just out in the little. We have April Base, the studios, are kind of the bigger thing that's been a work in progress over the years. But then during COVID, I sort of set up a room about half the size of this, just kind of, that didn't sound very good, but had a lot of vibe in it. And I didn't really have many people out there at all. And then there was that huge snowstorm, and I think this was like day 2.
Is this all?
Just in the morning, you just had this little hi-hat pattern going.
Yeah.
And then that little bah, bah, and then it just like all came out.
So we just started basically from this. I remember just programming this in my computer. Basically not basically, this is literally all the song started from. And then came, I think I actually, when I was just kind of like flipping through little samples and stuff, I accidentally hit this. It came with it. Just a little stab. And you were just like that.
Yeah. I mean, just that little, it's a good example. I just have to like shout you out. It's like just your programming, it just like sounds so classic, and the best kind of break beats and beats, like just that little hi-hat pattern, it just sounds like a whole melody. It's like it had the song in it, it's like that was the stone that the builder that we made the song out of,
We brought the song to it. This song is totally just like classic you and me.
Yeah.
I feel like of just like a little drum loop, a little like chunk of music, and it just kind of is this seed for this, what becomes this incredible flower of a song.
Yeah. I was like, all right, that stab just hits the 4 chord every single time.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I should, at least try to play some guitar.
So we just had started here. And actually too, even this to me, I think this is from the original demo.
If only I could wait.
Yeah.
You had it down there as the red guy.
Yeah, oh there.
If only I could wait.
You can hear like the other sound in the
We had to
background
keep that,
too.
right?
If only I could wait.
I was just testing the mic when I was just like,
Yeah.
and I don't know, I think that's good evidence of like, people like ask about process and stuff, and it's pretty easy to become self-serious, I think, and just be like, well, I made this up, which is, I guess, true. It's not like we don't work hard at songs, but like that, me saying that into the mic was just me, like that music had just been made, like the hi-hat and the,
Yeah.
and I just literally testing the mic, and I just said those words. It's not like I was like, what is, what am I?
What should
What
it be
is this
about?
shit? Yeah. It was just
this.
like, just the name of the song. And it's like, all right, that's it. I don't know why, but it's like it was delivered more than it was created,
Totally.
If only I could wait.
And then, I think from there, it was just the rubber bridge guitar.
You guys did a fair amount of, you and Ian did a fair amount of cleaning up on that guitar.
Then from there, you layered in those Nashville guitars.
And it's just like, I do this a lot on stuff where it's like, I just kind of tune the Nashville. So like, they say Nashville, so you know what that means out there. Like, it's just it's a 6-string guitar, but just like the high strings from a 12-string. So it has this really light thing. And I just like, usually just whatever the song is that I'm gonna do that on, it's kind of like a shaker part or something really rhythmic. Just kind of tune the strings into an open chord and really don't change very much. Listen to it a little more. And that's got echo chamber on it, right?
Yeah, just for. And And then, you know, we
I gotta
just
get my glasses. I'm gonna get a headache if I don't get
Okay,
my
yeah.
glasses. I know it might be inconsistent, but I need them. Can't see. Probably from too many years of staring at Pro Tools from,
5 feet away.
yeah.
In terms of this song, just starting in these cool little like collage pieces, that was another early bit of just like little idea, little idea, little idea.
Like the fuzzy rubber bridge, like
Yeah.
turned up. It was through that little Vinny amp that's like really, we used on the record a lot, these Vinny amps, these 1-watt amps that have this cool sound.
Yeah, and then from there we added just a little. I think you just like had this loaded up on your OP1 already, just a little like chop of another acoustic guitar.
Oh yeah, it was just a sample I had on the OP1 of like, I don't even know who that is playing guitar, maybe me. I like it when it does later in the chorus, it does all that cool shit.
Yeah, we're in this soon.
So worked out cool.
From there, I think like a lot of your vocals also came together like pretty early on. Like again, just making it so.
If only I could wait. But before me is a ways out. Can I live inside this state
Oh, and I forgot about.
where the summers are serrated now? Can I incur the weight? Am I really this afraid now?
So that was mainly the song on like what we came away, you know, with from those couple
Just
days.
that first morning,
Yeah.
really, like there's a video or two, or like little demo, like early things that could be cool to show you. It was like, I didn't quite have the lyrics. I just said, if only I could wait. And it was slower too.
Yeah.
I remember we were texting like 3 months later. Of course, we were like, we're almost done with the song. It was like years from being done. But I think we sped it up a few BPM.
Yeah. So I added some things like just back in my, like these drums I chopped together.
That's my favorite. That's like that's Jimmy to a T. That's like the drum break Jimmy stack sound.
So fun. I just remember always hearing that drum part on it.
So Danielle was inside and we were like making
yeah,
this
of
and we
course.
sort of like made it. And then we were just in this mode. We must have made 30 kind of ideas those few days. And so we were, anything we made, we just sort of both, Danielle and I would both just take like a pass where you're just trying to just see if there's any melodies. And she kind of just sang this whole part that was totally different than what I was singing. You should just play it by itself. And it was at that moment I was like, this is a duet. Like this could be like, Johnny June.
I know that it's
And like kind of in response.
Oh yeah.
If only we could wait. Or is it folded either way now?
I mean, I think those were her kind of like scratch lyrics, but
Yeah.
that was just like a pure feeling originally, which is
Yeah,
her
that's right.
melody like that. And you had the vision to then like turn that into a duet, not just like some backgrounds. that
Yeah,
came
like
over
it was
you.
like, no, it needs to be like a full thing. And so that took a long time these lyrics took like years to write. And I know we recorded Danielle's part multiple times because then I was like, I would hear it and then I'd be like, oh, the lyrics should be a little different there. So yeah. And it was like, it seemed so personal. Like it seemed so truthful and real, this song, and it just really needed it to be right. So we really like hammered the lyrics. And even I remember sitting around the breakfast table at April Base, just like having lyric time where we would just sit around like, what's wrong with that? Or like, what do we feel about this line? And just trying to really
totally
get it right. And we did. Like it took so long.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is our original,
That was the original.
this is again what
Jimmy.
stuff started from. And then we started just adding things on top of it. So there was like
Delays.
these kind of basses, synth bass, kind of not that audible, this little, you playing a Yamaha keyboard. And then Lewis playing bass. And Sonic, either Eli or Sean. Yeah, you through a cassette or something, then the verb of it all together. So sick.
And then we even did a pass where we had like Eli, Lewis, and Sean all just like play a one chord.
Yeah.
Like try to like all do it at once in the room, and we captured that.
Yeah. Just so many different, just again, like really building out that sound. I think you even, these like little guitar ones you did.
Oh yeah. There's so many layers, yeah.
Yeah. And then I think then we maybe put it all through a cassette at some point. So sick.
Oh yeah, it's something we put it through the cassette. We'd take the cassette out and like scrape it up and crinkle the cassette up, and it would give us that nice like found sound.
Yeah.
I think that was Olson's idea. Yeah. It's cool.
So sick.
I feel like you should go through and just like play it and like
we?
add each one
Let's do
so
it.
you can kind of hear the complete situation.
So if we started here, so that again is just kind of where everything started. Then on top of that we added.
Yeah, just let it play and add one each time.
Then with the bass. And then a verb.
And it's
These
a little
basses.
amorphous because like the chord is the same every time, but we also had to like kind of find inversions of the other chords, even though it's...
Yeah, and these Yamaha keys.
Yeah, throw them all in there, Jimmy.
And then what we end up with is this one thing that's just all these different layers. I remember you just having a like audibly like,
there's some...
yes,
Yeah, I was like, whoa! And Lewis, I was just like, louder, Lewis. And he's like...
And then I think the thing that was so impactful for us that I remember that honestly like made the song in the end is just Moose's strings.
Yeah, I knew that like, because I had that concept of the duet, and I was like, you know, George and Tammy, Johnny and June, like obviously our version of that, but like I'd been listening to so much George Jones, and the string parts were always insane and really loud. And those like, you know, A Picture of Me is my favorite George Jones song. Me and Moose, over the years, after working on all these records together, I remember like it's a quite a nice story. I hadn't seen Rob for a couple of years with COVID and everything, and I love him so much. And we have this like musical language that we really have like built over a decade, or much over a decade now. And he just like came down the road, down the long driveway, and we kind of just like saw each other and we started crying. And then working on this song, we worked it really, really hard, and he had done his original idea. And then, you know, I heard his original idea, and then I had some ideas of how to change it. And so he was like, well, you got to take some arrangement credit on this one because it's, you know, so different. Actually, could I switch spots with you?
Absolutely.
And this is my favorite part. And this is the part like that I knew it was good because I couldn't really get through it without like, I don't know, sobbing.
Yeah, I remember you just getting like very methodical and getting these just perfect.
And I went in and like changed, like midied some notes, but then of course he like redid it all. It's like,
holding,
Oh,
keep holding.
how do I do the solo safe thing? This thing?
Or you could just hit shift when you want to solo anything.
Okay. I know. Imagine.
Stage, and they hit me raise now. I know that it's hard to keep.
And just how it moves between with the freaking vocals. Like.
But what a taste, oh babe, in every way, not for the fray. I'm best alone in highways.
It's really incredible how he did that. He just heard it, man. Here, you jump back in here. I just wanted to do that.
I mean, yeah, those strings were like such a. Again, I just feel like that really like the song and like production just became itself when we got those, because we don't have them in here now. But I remember we originally had like really beautiful keys and kind of all built around the CS50 bass in the verse.
Oh, that's this thing, yeah. Oh, yeah. And actually, for this song and for Walk Home, we have a CS50 at ours, but we like recorded it through like a polytone amp.
Yeah.
So it was always a little tricky to mix because it wasn't the greatest fidelity, but it ends up. Oops. I don't know what part of the song it's about.
Yeah, but that, I mean, that I remember like that, you know, that we had that CS50 bass from the demo and we built just kind of some pads on there. But like once Rob did those strings and you kind of, you know, micro edit and everything, it was like, I remember just feeling this huge relief. I didn't even know it was coming. You just muted all the keys and all of a sudden the song just opened up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and all it needed was strings and that bass, you know?
Yeah. I remember, oh, that's so cool. I love this song. The magic of the 4 days of being snowed in together and just like the fact that she sang that first day, it just all came together and she sang that, I know that it's hard to keep going. And like, that was just like, now it has to be. I feel like we kind of showed our work well.
Cool.
All right, so we're gonna work on Walk Home, or we finished it.
Wait, hold on, we actually need to.
I don't wanna work on it anymore. And this one very much started with just a beat of Jimmy's again. You know, these, I think I had this feeling of like I wanted to just like, you know, some of Bon Iver's music had gotten quite complex and layered and I don't know, bespoke and kind of, yeah. And I think with this record, I think it was just like all the way back to Peaceful Love. I just was responding so much to like simpler, more direct, and a little less opaque and a little more like, here, this is what I mean, like say it, say the basic things. This one definitely like, I was never worried about it, but it's like, certainly it's on the cheesy side. Like it's like just saying things, you know, it's like, it's not just like metaphor. It's just like, it's basically like, take your clothes off and kiss, you know, it's like, it's basically what we're saying. And so when Jimmy was just making the little drum beat, it was just like immediately was giving something, you know, it was giving some energy. And I knew I kind of wanted to use this thing that we often use is the Teenage Engineering OP1. And we use it a lot, sampling voice or whatever, sampling anything. It's been on most of our recordings probably since 22 Million, but I wanted to make a sample of my voice, but like have it like sound pitched up. So I think Eli had already started working in the key of C, like.
Yeah.
But I knew I wanted my voice to not really sound like my voice, and so I'm gonna attempt to re-sample how I did it. It won't be the same, and it might be quite embarrassing.
No.
But but I can't sing it in the key, so it's like I was just like I went out to the wood. Jimmy was working on it, and I went out into the woods because I knew it was gonna be really loud, and it will probably be really loud right now. But to just like get a really rich sounding human voice singing, walk on, I wanna be inside with you. But let me see. Oh God, this is embarrassing. I know, I was just like trying to, walk on. Might have to try it a couple times.
Yeah, let's. Do you want to hear the
Anything
song at
but
all?
C. No, I don't, I can't, because it can't be in the key. Walk on. No, no, it's all right. Walk on. Walk on. I'm gonna be inside with you. Walk on. Hey. Something like that. And then like, I guess play the song now for a second. Oh, I got it. So then you like pitch it up, so like, which is the kind of, ooh, who's that guy? But then you pitch all of it up. And then you just kind of find the key. So like you can hear how how I originally did it in the track, and that's kind of how we started, just the drums and the sample, right?
So we had these drums. And then with that, you can hear that little drone in there. Yeah. Then we had the OP1 sample around there. And then I think maybe even before then, around the same time, Eli Teplin, who was writing with us, who's an incredible writer and keys, piano, everything player, laid these chords down just over that beat. So that's where we started, roughly. And then I think maybe from there, is that where the CS50 bass came in? Right.
And we tried to redo that a bunch of times, but oops. Oh yeah, this is my trick, so I can always play in C. Yeah, play that version.
So sick, incredible. I remember too with that, I was just, so we had like such a, you know, this whole vibe and with the keys. Just so nice, and you coming in with that bass line, I was just like, whoa, that like blew my mind.
I like that it goes on the offbeat sometimes. Play it with it.
Yeah. It just really, that like just took this whole song into new territory. So good.
Yeah, there's no bass on the verses.
No, yeah, and then we lose it. I mean, the bass is so huge there. But yeah, again, the CS50 just being like a huge part of the sound of this.
Yeah.
So then we did it on the next chorus.
Oh yeah, stop it. So we had Mike Lewis play electric bass over it because I just couldn't make anything sexy enough. And he was just like pocketing it, you know, D'Angelo style. But so he did it, but I wanted it to be consistent. So after he left, I just kind of copied his line, and so we had the same bass on. So if you play like the chorus with no bass. Yeah, that part. That was Lewis's like. Wow.
Oh yeah,
it was like, and then I copied it on the CD. Yeah.
I like that we did keep from Lewis though.
Oh, you kept it?
Well, no, his slide here.
Oh yeah. Oh, you kept just that.
Yeah, just that going into the whoop.
Adding Greg Lease on pedal steel, we should just like listen to.
Yeah.
Moose did a really good job of. Greg Lease is my favorite pedal steel, one of my favorite musicians on earth, and the sweetest guy. And so we had him play steel in LA a number of times. Such a country instrument, but it's nice on this kind of like, you know, whatever this track is. But Moose did a really nice job of complementing everything that, and they both had played on the second Bon Iver record, not together, but
yeah,
we reference pedal steel a lot, me and Moose do. Playing them together is so nice.
And I think just like bringing those flavors just really make this song, like having those like really just like live, lush, beautiful flavors of the pedal steel and strings, like just on top of the kind of, I don't know what else to call them than like the dirty
like
maple play stuff.
The basic stuff.
like this was just recorded. I think he was playing through like literally a computer speaker, like a speaker that you would buy.
So there's a lot of
for
like
your
bleed and
PC.
stuff. And it took us a long time to like, we added a lot of layers of keyboards on top of this because it was so kind of problematic sonically.
Yeah.
But it had such good vibe.
And you can really hear it clearly here.
Bleeding. There's a lot of
You hear
bleed and like
buzz.
bad buzz, yeah. Add all the other keyboard layers. Eli did such a good job, and we made him do it so many times with.
Yes, and so that was like
MIDI.
the original stuff, and then we got. Those are just so nice. Like the beautiful nature of those, just with the dirty. Just rounds it out so well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of all the parts, right? It's funny.
Sorry.
It's like every song that you ever heard at a concert always is like, you know, like, but like you can never do that on record. It's like, how do songs end on recordings? You know, it's because it just stops, or there's the
Yeah.
fade out move. But I don't know if we did any fade out moves. Yeah, well, how's
I
that
feel like
end?
with this one, like we wanted, like this, the head, you know, just felt so good in general. But it's like, how can we do that part again without
Without it
do
being
different?
again.
It was made for me. It was made for me, baby.
This is basically just the demo playing. Then it builds back in. Yeah, then it felt really
Of course,
natural.
the last thing you hear is Sean's brushes. God. That's how we end up.
Yeah, the brush end, the classic brush end.